Today's topic is about social media, and I'm about to change my channel to videos with cute kittens or baby goats and otters. You can't go wrong there, right? First up, from the age of shitlords. Facebook held feminists to the same standards, and they aren't happy about it. Facebook's strict and censorship-happy community standards are well known to anyone who has used the social network for longer than a month. Examples of Facebook removing sarcastic, slightly offensive content for being hate speech are well documented online. Curiously, whenever anyone brings up or complains about Facebook censoring offensive opinions, the usual response you get from feminists range from Facebook is a private company and therefore has the right to refuse service to you, to freedom of speech doesn't exempt you from the consequences of that speech. So how do these same feminists take it when these rules are applied to them? Not very well. Over the weekend, the tagline, "Men are trash," became a talking point among internet feminists to protest the death of a South African woman at the hands of a man, because blaming all men for the actions of one man isn't generalization or anything. As a sign of protest, several women changed their Facebook cover photos to pictures that had the text, "Men are trash," written on them. Naturally, these pictures were removed by Facebook for hate speech, and someone at Gizmodo thought this warranted an entire article. As the old saying goes, men are trash. If you're a 20-something woman, you probably said this phrase to your friends at least once, possibly over alcoholic drinks after a man has done something bad. Or perhaps you've said it to coworkers after your dumb boss makes a boob joke in front of the entire company. Ooh. Apparently, however, sharing that sentiment on Facebook is a no-no. In fact, doing so can get your content removed, or even get you banned from posting for a period of time. Phyllis Meenan, a 29-year-old corporate administrator living in San Francisco, told Gizmodo she changed her cover photo to an image that featured the phrase on Monday evening. On Tuesday evening, she said, she went back on Facebook only to receive a message saying Facebook had removed the image and that she was blocked from posting for 24 hours. As she explained to Gizmodo, obviously not all men are trash. However, the ones who are really upset about it are the ones who absolutely are. Well, it stands to reason now, doesn't it? The women who posted the original "Men Are Trash" post and some of her feminist friends would later get their posts removed from their Facebook profiles. Some of them even got posts blocked by Facebook. How does it feel like to reap the fruits of the censorship-happy society that you yourselves have created? Then she said a couple days later, she was told she was blocked for 3 days for posting a screenshot of some sexist bullshit a man said on Facebook with the caption, "Men are trash." Meehan said she had no idea if any of her friends reported her, but several of Phyllis's friends told Gizmodo that they too had posted the original "Men are trash" meme only to have it removed by Facebook. Gizmodo mentioned several other cases of posts being taken down. Then, after crying to Gizmodo about their posts being removed, the Gizmodo writer, one Libby Watson, contacted Facebook and got a reply back from them stating that Facebook does not allow hate speech. Libby doesn't like this very much. She spends the rest of the article explaining why sexism against men shouldn't be censored, but sexism against women should be. According to her, "Men are trash" isn't hate speech because it isn't backed by systematic oppression. There's that word again. The level of Tumblr-esque mental gymnastics being applied here is off the charts. When we reached out to Facebook, we got an answer. The company said that under its guidelines, the post fell under the category of hate speech. It would only allow such posts when it had enough text to know it was meant as humor or was being used self-referentially. So it's pretty clear Facebook considers the phrase "men are trash" hate speech. Men are trash is not hate speech. Largely, men who act offended by things like "men are trash" or "white people suck" are doing it to make a point, not because they really are offended. They seem to think being offended by a slur is a fun activity they're being left out of. But I'm sorry, dudes. That just isn't how it works. "Men are trash" is simply not the same thing as sexist attacks on women. Well, because you don't face the systematic oppression that makes sexist slurs so toxic. If you're a man and someone calls you a stupid trash man, wow, I'm sorry you had a bad day. If someone calls a woman a bitch or a slut, that's tinged with millennia of oppression. Facebook acting like these are all the same thing to put men are trash in the same category of speech as slurs shows that, yet again, it just doesn't get it. No, they don't get it.
How women can be just as misogynistic and sexist as some guys.
And while we're at it, there's no such thing as reverse racism now, is there?
Another question worth asking is, under whose authority do we have to accept this meaning in the first place?
We see over and over again with the third-wave feminists and social justice warriors, their religion of identity politics, what we say is just and correct. What you say is wrong. If you disagree with them, you are wrong. Even when you are one of them, as we keep seeing, if you don't become a virtue-signaling bobblehead, then those SJW sharks smell blood in the water and go on a feeding frenzy. They eat their own. Well, eating is still legal, but it's not quite the same as murdering your own. So we move on to story number 2. Male feminist YouTuber arrested for killing a woman. There is discussion on the internets and apparently joking about this serious subject. While I was finalizing the script for this video, I saw chat-mort live streaming, and she expressed the view that taking cheap shots about this sad event was something she wasn't too happy about. Well, good for you. And bear in mind that there is only an accusation of murder made. Remember, innocent until proven guilty. So rather than attacking Aleksandr Kolpakov for being an atheist or feminist, we can look at this from someone who had a viewpoint about the patriarchy and misogyny, and if found guilty, hypocrisy. If you don't already know what I'm talking about, I quote here from Pathos. Kolpakov, aka Russian Deadpool, was also one of the YouTubers behind the Skeptic Feminists, where he talked about patriarchy, monotheistic religions, because religion and misogyny are inexorably tied. I bring all this up because Kolpakov was just identified as the lone suspect in a homicide case in Mesa County, Colorado. Aleksandr Kolpakov of Clifton is being held at the county's jail on suspicion of second-degree murder. The shooting happened about 9 p.m., blah, 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 where deputies called out on reports of several gunshots, found the woman dead outside of a home. Kolpakov was taken into custody. Can anyone from any race be a racist? Yes, they can. Can a religious person be evil and kill people? They sure do. Can a feminist or atheist murder? Why, sure. I know, sounds simple, but the SJWs seem to have this binary view of the world, that there are good and evil people and ideas. Some want open dialogue in an attempt to find middle ground. And what better example of a closed system than this tweet? There is no middle ground between right and wrong, he or she says. Most just see feminism as a laughable movement that's not needed in the West. No, how dare you contradict me with wrongthink? We need feminism because I said so. Most who have common sense know that good and bad people and everyone in between are all around us. There may be someone you consider bad who has done righteous things in their life, and likewise, I am certain that Aleksandr Kolpakov was good intentioned but stands accused of something horrific. This is the gray area of life that the SJWs can't cope with. They talk of fluidity and genders but fail to see the complexities of life. They say, I am right and good, but you are wrong and evil. But to be fair, they do have a sliding scale of hierarchies in their oppression Olympics. If you are a cis-het white man, then you are way, way, way at the top of this evil. But if you are a black Muslim woman who is also non-binary, obese, and disabled, then she wins the gold. With the spectrum of marginalized and offended people everywhere in between. You have to give them credit for that. Or do you? What is related to this and probably pisses off reasonable people the most is this identity politics thing where you are not allowed to criticize someone that has a race or sex or gender that you have not experienced. I don't think these forbidden areas quite what gets people's goat, but the hypocrisy of the same people deem themselves as being worthy to talk shit about people they have no experience in common with. So as with Jamie Kilstein and a long list of others that virtue signaled and pointed fingers crying patriarchy and misogyny at others. It is the appearance of dishonesty that riles people up. Last on the list of social media talk today is YouTube. Here's how the YouTube apocalypse is affecting top creators. TubeFilter talks about the so-called YouTube apocalypse that started a few months ago. This is the boycott of YouTube by major marketers and how the big names on YouTube are affected. I'm not going to go into great detail and bore you with it. I'm sure everyone out there is familiar with the topic, so I'll get to the points I want to make. I really don't give a rat's ass about the big name. These people have large followings, of course, that they have rightly earned. Their options are far greater than the countless small channels, like the one you're watching right now, to cash in on their fame. Many fear that YouTube's new algorithms will favor large media corporations over independently produced content, and that in the end may affect all of us. The inexorable, disturbing trend of the SJWs to want to censor opinions they disagree with because of wrongthink may very well lead to a day when the only voices heard are the right and good. Stifled will be the wrong and evil. Remember, there is no middle ground. Maybe YouTube will not end up being a wasteland of reality TV and precious cat videos, and/or we will find other venues to express our opinion. We are already seeing content creators building a portfolio of other options, and with that, I bid you farewell. I have to edit a video with a duck chasing a puppy. Thank you again for giving up these precious minutes of your worthwhile existence to watch and listen to this channel. Please do hit the like button, and if you're new, please subscribe. Goodbye.